Hello friends, welcome to the Point. In this session, we'll be discussing about how to study international relations for UPSC mains. So international relations, so it is an important part of our UPSC mains examination. So it is a part of General Paper 2, or which is also called as GS Paper 2. So it includes international relations like bilateral, regional and global groupings and agreements which involves India and the other country. So India and its neighborhood relations and its important international institutions, agencies, their structure, mandate, everything is necessary for this paper. So effect of policies and politics of developed and developing countries on land interest, Indian diaspora. These are all an unavoidable part of our preparation, because every year UPSC asks the questions worth around 100 marks from this section. So this session I'll be giving you tips and strategies how to prepare on these topics, and also how to prepare for international relation for this particular UPSC mains examination. So the international relation, so this topic, it contains more dynamic than a static portions. So it is important to keep abreast of the latest happening with respect to India and India's relationship with the other countries in the world, just to prepare a suitable notes for this topic. So for our convenience, while preparing these topics from UPSC syllabus, we have divided it into sections like India's international relations, which is based on location. So when talking about this India's international relations based on the location, first we'll go through India and its neighbors or neighboring countries like Pakistan, Bangladesh, Bhutan, Myanmar, Afghanistan, Sri Lanka, China and Nepal. So these are all the neighboring countries of India. And secondly, India that is linked with various organizations like United Nations, G20, ASEAN, GCC, IMF, World Bank and so on. So India's relation with different regions. So different regions in the sense apart from the neighboring countries like the Americans, Africa, Middle East, Central Asia, Europe and so on. So next is India and the rich nations. The relationship of India with the rich nations like Australia, US, Japan and so on. So India and the 5 UNSC members. So the 5 UNSC members are USA, France, China, Russia and UK. So these are the 5 types of things we should remember while preparing for international relations, which is based on the location. So next is India's foreign policy during the different phases. So we have to see India's foreign policy during different phases like post-independence, during the time of Cold War, during non-alignment movement, at the war time with Pakistan and China, at the time of fall of USSR and the current events. So these are the things we have to follow up while talking about India's foreign policy during different phases. So when you start reading IR or international study material, you must begin by reading out the basic philosophy that underlies with international relations. That is like evolution of foreign policy of India, major changes in the world in the last few decades and how India has been affected by those changes, role of India in the major international organization. All these things we should start studying at the beginning stage of our preparation in this particular subject. In bilateral relations, one must focus on India and its neighbors, India's relation with USA, India and Russia relation, and India and China relations. So these are the four things one must focus on during the preparation of IR. So in every relationship, look forward for certain things like historical relationship, economic relationship, what were the contemporary issues, what were the areas of confrontation, landmark agreements or any movements, way to the future, and unique opportunities or challenges, and Indian diaspora. So in this international relation portion, you must be able to write the things analytically. Therefore, it is important that you keep reading newspapers and other magazines that focuses on the issues that is pertaining to foreign policy and relations. So these are some of the material, study material for international relations. So Pax Indica by Shashi Tharoor. And there is an official website by the Ministry of External Affairs and Institute for Defense Studies and Analysis website. Study a newspaper editorial on relevant topics of IR and a Frontline magazine. So there are two books which named as Challenge and the Strategy, that is about the rethinking India's foreign policy. This is a book by Rajiv Sikri. And next is India's foreign policy, that is coping with the changing world. So this is a book by Dubey. So just follow thoroughly about the websites of the government websites like Ministry of External Affairs and Institute for Defense Studies and Analysis, and next go through the newspaper editorial and magazines. Go through about what are the relationship or what are the issues going on between India and the other nation, and check the background of the relationship between India and that particular country which is recently in news, and just study the topic of it. This is more than enough for your preparation in the topic of international relations, which will be asked in GS paper 2. So see you all in the next session with some other interesting topic. Thank you.